Nimekuwa nikimeet vijana wengi sana mazee nikiwa na opportunities za kwenda kuongelesha vijana hapa na pale. Nimerealize kama kuna one thing vijana wanaitisha sana ni mentorship. Leo mazee tunaanza na msemo moja wa power sana. Na before mazee niongee mingi sana kuhusu ni nani na amefanya nini. Check out a clip ya a few things ameparticipate in design ya no. Mazejo niko na guest wangu pa, huyu ni mentor wangu mti yangu. Msi ameniglea mazee in the film and TV industry production. Huyu ni msi amenitrain, amenicoach, amewalk na mimi journey. Na it's quite an honor mazee kukaa naye hapa leo. Watu yangu mazejo tuna introduce kwa the one and only Ernest Jakadadi aka super director. Ernest, just in case for all watu, of course feel free kuongelea lugha na kubamba. Huyu jamaa akiongea Kilami mu understand. Kuna level ukifika shengi na baki huko chini. But for the guys who wanna commit mara first. Who is Ernest? What does Ernest do?
You know what? Kabla nijibio swali, nimesikia intro yako. Nataka kila mtu anawatchia jue. Role ya mentor na mentee switch kitambo. So, hiyo mimi kuniita mentor ilisha switch kitambo.
Ili switch.
But for me, my name is Ernest. I'm a filmmaker. I do TV and film production. I do a lot of reality TV directing, screenplay, writing, and filmmaking. I'm also a teacher by profession. And I'm a husband. Yes, to be a father.
Oh yeah. You're working hard.
Working very hard.
Now, a few of the big shows we may do Ernest in Italy.
The biggest production I've been part of has been Coke Studio.
Yes.
I directed season 2 and season 3 of that. Some of the other bigger ones that people might notice is Blaze BYOB. I directed the second season of that. 254 was another show that I directed.
Yes.
I've done a lot of stuff with Kwese in terms of directing and producing sports broadcasts for them. So live broadcasts like basketball and a few other indoor sports for them. Yeah, and that's on the reality TV side.
Yes.
Yeah, on my but the ones that I feel the most attached to is
Hata tumefanya mpaka Nigeria.
Tumefanya mpaka Nigeria, yes, and that was a beautiful experience.
Yes. Nigeria, which show are you doing in Nigeria?
So in Nigeria, I was working on a around 6-month project with Kwese. I had been contracted to put together a team for them to be able to broadcast locally their Nigerian basketball league.
Yes.
So they asked me, because I had a lot of experience in multicam and broadcast.
Yes.
So I went in there to put together a team of engineers, editors, camera operators, you know, directors who I trained. And for those 6 months, I went there to just teach them the ways of broadcasting live sports. And so I did that for a few months over there, and I came back here.
Somebody mwenye si ashakuona amekufeel, get the feel ujamani nani. Ana assume maybe ulitoka shule ukaingia Coke Studio. Jani yako imekuaje?
You know, BudaBoss, I actually hate telling you. And let me tell you why I hate telling my story. Because sometimes when I tell people, it looks like it's easy.
Okay.
You know? I'll still tell it to you. I'll wrap it up nicely. My story has a lot of hard work in it, a lot of incredibly hard work in it, but I always say a lot of luck as well.
Okay.
Here's the one thing people don't know. You have to be able to work when nobody's watching.
Yes.
Because opportunity will come, then everybody will be watching. But everything you did when nobody was watching will now finally show. Because for me, the way I started, I went to a very prestigious, at the time, very prestigious film school.
Yes.
Called the Mohammed Amin Foundation, which you also went to.
Yes, Morphos. Yeah.
Morphos was a place that allowed me to develop skills in filmmaking across all the skills: editing, lighting,
camera work,
sound, writing as well. So when I finished my course there, I was lucky enough to jump from finishing school, and within weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks, I got an opportunity to work as an intern at Traska Project Fame at the time. I think that was season 4 or season 5.
Yeah.
I was an intern there, and I got there, and here's the thing: I used to practice a lot. I used to be the first person in class, 6 a.m. I was in class in Anza 8, but Mimi 6 a.m. Mimi and my girlfriend at the time would go Darasani 6 a.m.
Yes.
Practicing, editing, shooting cameras, doing little scenes, you know. I used to do this all the time. So, and the guys who trained me knew that. So, and they were part of the technical directors who were at the time technical directors for TPF. So when I was working as an intern at TPF, I happened to be there in the first week of shooting. They were doing a rehearsal, and there was a camera operator who was not doing a great job at the time. And unajua venye hao wazungu wako.
Oh, I know, coach.
Yes. They were so pissed at the work he was doing. Wakamwambia, you know what?
You're fired.
And the guy was let go on site, and they shut down that camera. And they said, okay, for this weekend we won't use that camera. But one of my trainers was there saying, look, we have Ernest here. He can jump on a camera, see what he does. So I did a rehearsal an hour before we went live, and the director said, do you want the job? After that hour. And my relationship with that director started there, and it was the relationship that gave me a lot of luck, because I ended up doing camera work that whole year at TPF.
Yes.
Then when I was ready again, I practiced behind the scenes again, practicing on directing. How does this directing work? How do you put together 8 cameras and direct all these 8 guys? I did a lot of work of that. I trained myself on how to use the TriCaster 8000, which at the time, you know, was a big deal. I trained myself. I literally went to their website and learned how to use the TriCaster 8000. And when I finally got my hands on it, I was the first person given the opportunity to vision mix for the same director who had given me a chance at TPF. And he was so impressed with my work that once again he told me, just stay on. And working next to him, we progressed with him to Cook Studio Season 1. And again, I was lucky enough to be next to him, for him to see all these things. And what used to happen was, yet again, when nobody was watching, during rehearsals, unajua hao wazungu sometimes they have accents that people don't understand. So the camera operators walikuwa na get instructions from the director, and they didn't understand what he was saying. Na wanapigiwa kelele. Unaona? So during breaks they would tell me, Ernest, why don't you rehearse with us, try and explain to us what the director was saying. So the director found me doing this one day and realized, you're actually directing right now. As you're rehearsing with this cameraman, you're telling them, this is your shot, you're actually directing. Would you like to direct 1 song every week? Okay. I'll give you 1 song out of the 6 we do, or 5 I think, and you'll direct 1 of them. As I again started doing that, and slowly by slowly he started feeling comfortable in me. And in season 2, when it was starting, he had to leave to go back home to London. And when he left, he told the executive producer of Cook Studio, before you get somebody else from abroad, why don't you give this kid a chance, see what he might be able to do. At least just let him studio direct. You can find somebody else to do the creative directing. But yet again, I had been practicing so much behind the scenes on creative directing, studio directing, all these things. And when I got my chance, I was there. And that's where my journey took off. You know, you're lucky. There are positions where uko lucky if people wakishajua umefanya hii kazi, now you start getting other jobs. So Cook Studio was the one that kind of created more jobs for me. But I never forget 2 things. One, that I was prepared for the moment. Yes, when the moment came, I was prepared. I didn't take it for granted that luck is a big part of it. I never buy into people who say, I'm self-made. You're not self-made because somebody gave you that opportunity. So you're self-made plus that supporting cast that said, you know what, BudaBoss, Fred, wacha tukupatie opportunity. Ini yako. Those are the people who made you, not yourself. Because otherwise, if you ukibaki kwa hii dunia peke yako, utajita self-made.
Utashoot nini?
Utashoot nini? Nani atawatch vitu zako? You know. Yeah. So for me, I recognize two things. Are you working when nobody's watching?
Yes.
And then when that moment, when that knock comes on the door, are you ready? Before we started shooting, I just spoke to two people who I am recommending them for a job.
Yes.
I'm not 100% sure that both of them can do the job they can do. I know their character. Now I'm just hoping that they were ready. That everything I told them, everything I've taught them now leads to this moment. They've always been under my wing. They've always been just kind of safe. Now I'm sending them out there and telling them,
go and do.
Go and do. Now, if they don't take that moment, somebody else will step up and take their moment.
That's an excellent thing, Ernest. The perception of being able to work when nobody's watching. Now we have a generation that is coming up that believe I can only work when there's money.
I'm old.
And yes, and it has to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
What do you tell that kind of a generation?
You know the first thing I tell them? The universe does not owe you anything. It doesn't
Straight
owe
up.
you any explanation. It doesn't owe you any job. It does not owe you any privilege. Those things you have to work for.
Straight up.
Straight up. Okay? I'll tell a story about you. I was just thinking about it before we started. I remember the first time we met.
Yes.
I don't know how well you remember it.
Yes.
But the first time we met, you came to me with a DVD of something you had shot.
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a well-packaged DVD. I won't speak so much about the shooting.
I know.
But you know what? You know what the thing was?
Yes.
You tried.
Yes.
You put effort into something, then said, okay, now I need the world to see it.
Yes.
And then tell me, where do I go from here? A lot of kids come up to me and say, I want to be a director like you. I want to be a writer. I want to be... So write them. Who's stopping you from writing? Who's stopping you from directing? Who's stopping you from pulling up YouTube videos that says how to direct multicam?
Yes.
Because that's what I did.
Yes.
After high school, I spent a year at home doing nothing other than looking at Idols, The Voice, you know, all these shows at the time that were very popular, and studying camera angles, studying how they cut together. I had piles and piles of DVDs. When my wife found me, she was like, we're going to burn all these things. What do we do? I was like, man, those are the things that made who I am, so please don't like burn them. But that's what I was doing when nobody was watching. That's what I was doing. When I met you, that's who I met. I met somebody who was like, I am willing to fail first, but I want to show you that I can do this. Don't come to me and say, I want to be a director. I know people believe that words can speak a lot of power, but actions are way more powerful.
By far.
What's the body of work right now that you have done for yourself? No matter how bad it is. Because that's how I met you first. Then our relationship was so much easier because I knew here, you and I together can work together because I understand that you understand work ethic. It's the same thing that happened with me with Ben Brewster, the guy who gave me my opportunity. He saw it in me. He saw that this guy has been working when nobody's watching. When you came to me, it was the same thing. Look at what you have now. Look at the body of work you have built since, you know. It is working when nobody's watching.